Sherry Turkle, MIT professor. Sherry, you've said that we are toast collectively as a human race, that we've reached what you call in your new book, Alone Together, the robotic moment. Why are we toast, and what is the robotic moment?
We're toast when a robot looks you in the eye, gestures towards you, tracks your movement, because that pushes your Darwinian buttons and makes you feel that there's somebody home in that robot, that there's a sentience and even something that cares about you.
What's a Darwinian button?
A Darwinian button is that the last time, as a species, we were wandering around and met a creature that looked us in the eye, gestured in affection, and tracked our motion and didn't want to eat us, that was a person. So we are programmed to respond to that kind of attention and interest as though we're with a person, as though we're with a conscious person. And when robots do it, we assume that we're with a sentient, caring being.
So what is the robotic moment? Is it the moment when robots become human beings?
No, it's the moment when we think robots care about us. It's exactly not the moment when robots become human beings. It's the moment when we ratchet up our expectations that we can put them in the place of human beings. And when we begin to expect them or are willing to consider them as candidates to be put in the place of human beings.
In your book, you write about robots that have been designed to articulate human emotions.
Yes.
Why have we done that?
Well, that's the question I pose in the book. I think we do it out of a disappointment with each other. I write about a woman who tells me that she's willing to have a robot boyfriend. And she says she does it because she doesn't want to be alone. She wants to have a feeling of civility in the house. She's disappointed in the kinds of relationships she has. It's a way of kind of calling in the cavalry in our disappointment with each other.
But it must be more than disappointment, Sherry. In your book, you write about 6-year-olds who fall in love with robots. 6-year-olds aren't disappointed, are they?
Well, what happens is that there's this seduction by the robotic, because the robot doesn't demand things of us. There's a movement when you meet a robot that asks for care. We're programmed to nurture what we love, but also, as I said in the book, love what we nurture. And when a robot asks for care, nurturance is the killer app, because we attach to the things we care for. And so if a robot asks us to take care of it, like those early Tamagotchis that asked us to feed them, take care of them, amuse them, we attach to them. And children attach to these robots and want to take care of them, want to love them. And there's a danger here, because there's a slide from what I call better than nothing to better than anything. So a child will say, I want a robot dog because it's better than nothing. My father's allergic to dogs. I'll have a robot dog. I can't have a real dog. Then they'll say, you know what? A robot dog, it can always stay a puppy, and that's kind of nice. It's nice to have something that's always a puppy. Puppies are cute. And then only a few conversations down the road, that child is saying, this robot will never die. In other words, it's better than anything that a living dog could ever offer. So we're very vulnerable to what technology affords.
As a species, is this a singular event, this robotic moment? Is there anything equivalent in the history of our species?
Well, that's a great question. I don't know.
You're an MIT professor. If you don't know, who does?
I haven't thought about it in those terms, of really when we've been offered a substitution for life. I can't think of anything quite...
Could it be the invention of religion?
Perhaps. I mean, we've invented a form where we propose to substitute for ourselves. And the areas in the book that I study is kind of the areas of proposing the nanny bot and the elder care bot. I take two case studies that I've got to say push my Darwinian button. I mean, as a psychotherapist, as a psychoanalyst, I mean, I'm just, the idea of a robot that would raise a child, proposing a robot that would be a companion for the elderly, bringing robots that are designed to be companions to the elderly, to pretend to understand a human life. I'm watching an elderly person talk about the loss of a child, the loss of a spouse, with a robot that doesn't know the meaning of what it is to lose a child, to have a child, to know death. I found this very disturbing. And the question is why, as you posed, why would we want to do this? And I think that we haven't thought about this deeply. We have not thought about this deeply. Roboticists say we don't have people for these jobs. And that simply is not a good enough answer. We would have people for these jobs if we paid them, if we gave them benefits, if we respected and honored this kind of work.